Hello, everyone. My name is Raj, and I'm the Associate Director with Frost Sullivan Security Practice. So, what we do at Frost Sullivan, we track emerging technologies, mega trends, and business concepts that we believe are going to define the future. And while in this process, what we do, we interact with companies in two sets. One of the established ones, which have been in this business for the last 30, 40, or 50 years, and companies which are fast emerging, right? And I think one of the companies that we have tracked so far globally as well is Keypasco, right? First, let me welcome you on board for this candid conversation, Mr. Chengi Lin. Nice
Thank you.
to have you for this chat. Let me start this conversation with having to know more Keypasco as an organization, primarily from an India standpoint. We know you're a Taiwan headquartered company with global presence and multiple offices all across. Now, relatively, you have been in this India market new while we know you as a brand. If you can give us a quick idea about Keypasco's presence in India and what is predominantly is your focus in the domestic market.
Okay, thank you very much. Actually, Indian market is very attractive because it's a massive market, and actually, the India's adopt a very good payment system from the UBI, to the mobile payment system. However, those the success that comes with very high challenges in recent years. And we found that that kind of it's another technology challenge, but it's trust challenges. That's why last year's the RBI just released they say that you need to remove the OTP from the financial sectors and actually effective the April 2026, which is this month, beginning of this month. So we found that this is a good opportunity for Keypasco. Okay, so Keypasco actually, is in for the Indian market, we focus on the three sectors. The first one, as I say, because we found this is a huge market, and especially RBI just released a new regulation, and we found this regulation to us is huge opportunities because we are in this business since 1987. From 1987 to the 2010, we manufacture all kinds of hardware tokens, and we deal with the 75 banks around the world. And after that, we just focus on the software as a solution. And in the very beginning, we launched this, in our solution. We focus on the financial sectors there. And right now, we have so many banks to use our solution. So financial is one of our first sectors we want to focus on in India's market, and also the government side. We found that the government you have always have so many kinds of platform and the service for the citizens and for the people in India. And that's the second one. And the third one, it will be the enterprise. So our solution actually, not only for the those kind of the platform company, what does that mean? The platform company, banks has web banking, has a mobile banking, has a corporate banking and the consumer banking, right? So they have their own platform, e-commerce, the smart building, all kinds of service. They have the platform. So we call that kind of service, the company is a platform company. But inside the company, they also have all kinds of service. For example, the ERP system. The India has a very good CRM system like Zoho. The CRM system, the ERP system, the firewall system, those kind of systems, the company always use it. So we also have the very good solution for those kind of enterprise use. So three of them we want to penetrate to the markets in India. So India is an attractive market for us, and we want to have our presence in here.
Perfect. And I think that's an excellent conversation starter for this, Mr. Zheng Li. Let me first ask you again a follow-up question to you. As a company, you have been in this industry for decades now. You mentioned how you started from the hardware aspect to it. Now you're looking into the software aspect to it as well. Now, why do you think has that MFA, multi-factor authentication, identity services, this has suddenly become so critical? Because MFA and identity services is not something that has spun out recently. It has been for several years now. But why do you think it really makes sense and it's more critical than ever?
I still remember, back to the 2011 when we established the company in Gothenburg, Sweden. And at that time, we called our solution is Keypasco multi-factor authentication. At that time, when we said MFA to our customers, no one knows what the MFA is. And I still remember that at time Frost Sullivan is in Europe give us the award. That's the innovation awards gave us from the Frost Sullivan. And and this time at this moment, everybody talking about the MFA and say and think that this is the most important thing for the cybersecurity. So the 15 years, that's not long, but for us, from the at that time, when you talk about the MFA, you think the OTP, and maybe the OTP is the OTP MFA. Hmm? It's no one knows what the MFA is, and is there any difference between the OTP MFA and also the for and maybe they say OTP with the password is the MFA, because the multi-factor authentication is kind of combine everything together, and you can say you have an MFA. Yeah. So in the very beginning, there's kind of a static authentication. So you have at that time, especially for the software solution, it's a static one. Okay, at that time you have a username password, and you say you have already strong enough authentication to do so, because you from the what you're from someone's mind. And that's a static authentication. And at that time, of course, the OTP is popular. And that's a move to a little bit, because the biometrics come to the market, and fingerprint, and also the face recognition, because the AI thing goes up, and so. But at that time, still not many companies are talking about the risk assessment. But actually, back to the 14 years ago when we launched our solution, we just think, we not only need to have the static, we not only need to replace the password, because password is I think it's it's not easy to use, because but everyone use, but it's not easy to use. We think we need to eliminate the password, but we use your own device to replace the password. However, we think because the behaviors is also the very important thing, because the behaviors we all what what you have, what you do, who you are, what you do, the four kind of categories to do the authentication, to do the MFA. And so what you do, we think we need to use four categories to build up, to formulate our solution. So we just collect all the parameters for the four categories, including the behavior. So the history, from the static, the rule-based authentication, to the process, the biometric solution, and to now everybody talk about the adaptive authentication and the real risk-based authentication. However, since we developed our solution, we already build our to integrate with all kinds of the solution, all kinds of feature, including risk-based authentication. We analyze someone's behavior. We analyze your environment. We analyze what kind of device you use. Those kind of things that we combine together to do the authentication. So that's why we say our solution is truly and authentic multi-factor authentication. This is how we go with this market trend for our Keypasco.
Fantastic. I think the best part that you touched upon how all started, right? The identification services, the access controls services, when you had MFA come in, biometrics come in. Now, if I look forward, right, there's an aspect of zero trust everybody is talking about, which is predominantly works on the concept of never trust, always verify, right? So, how does Keypasco help enterprises and businesses implement the concept of zero trust, specifically in a hybrid cloud setup where you have some applications on the cloud, some applications reside on prem, and how do companies actually balance that using or enabling zero trust architecture?
Okay, actually, zero trust, just like you say, never trust, ever, always verify, you know. And for our Keypasco zero trust solution, we divided it into the several pillars. I would say, because back to the I don't know 5 years ago, the 6 years ago, we developed our Keypasco the zero trust solution. We just use the NIST from the U.S. definition, but actually the like one there's someone say the 5 pillars, someone say the 7 pillars. It depends on the what kind of organization you are talking about. But for our Keypasco solution, we focus on the 4 kinds of things in the zero trust solution. The first one, the identity. Identity, we use the different because we doing the identity verification from your device, from the we also we even plus integrate the FIDO, those kind of certificates and the solution into our Keypasco. We have a very comprehensive identity verifications in the world. And also we have a very unique solution. We don't use the credentials, and that's the very unique selling point for our Keypasco solution. So so we don't have something for the hackers to steal, because in the market, for the identities verification for the authentication solution, most of the competitors are just using the credential thing to do the authentication, but we don't use any kind of credential. For our identity verification, we not only use our Keypasco original idea to build our identity verification, this kind of solution for the zero trust, but also we integrate the FIDO solution into our portfolio. And also the other thing is device verification. This is the second pillars of our Keypasco zero trust. And the device verification is like, just because, inside your device, there's a variety of the characteristic. For example, there's a CPU, there's a RAM, there's a motherboard, all kinds of, and you have a hardware, software, firmware, networks, So our solution is just, we bring all those kind of device information together to identify this is your device, this is yours device, like used, and also we detect the environment of the device you use. So we collect all kinds of information from your device to analyze the device, and also the risk assessment. Okay, and the risk assessment, we not only use the rule base, but also we use the AI to analyze all the behaviors from the user side, from the device side. So we bring these 3 together, and also this is the 3 pillars that we follow for the needs and to build our Keypasco zero trust solution. And the last one is SDP for the networks level. Okay, so we're define the premium. Okay, so we want to minimize the area that the resource has. Okay, so that's the 4 pillars we have for our Keypasco solution. So with this kind of the original idea from the NIST for the zero trust, but plus our the Keypasco original, the ideal, we have so many kind of factors from the device itself. So we build on the very comprehensive, and also the most important thing, we have our the two-channel structure. We still follow our two-channel structures. These unique structures actually we file a patent, and that kind of we just divided the internet content providers service and all the engagement service into the two independent channel. And so with this kind of a unique system structure, we can totally prevent from the command attacks from hackers, phishing, the middle browser. Why I mention this one? Because your question is about the zero trust solution. So most of the solution in the market, if they are talking about the authentication, this verification, those kind, they still rely on the same channel, the service and the authentication service in the same channel. But with ours, the original Keypasco solution, we follow the two channel structure and apply it to our zero trust solution. So we have a very comprehensive and a very unique solution to the for the market and for the customers for the zero trust solution.
Excellent. I think while you were talking about it, touched around the AI piece shortly, right? And AI is something like what we believe is going to define the future. And it is something which companies, providers, your customers, all of them are actually emphasizing or trying to leverage AI to extract the best of the solution. Now, you being in this industry for quite some time, over decades now, I'm sure you would also like to focus on the AI and do not want to not miss the train, right? If you can give me an idea about the kind of investments or the innovation that you're running, or how are you leveraging AI to build the best in class products for your customers?
Okay, thank you. Of course, we using AI. Okay, and we have been using AI for I don't know how many years already. And because we doing the risk analysis, and since we launched our solution back to the 40, 50 years ago, but at that time we use the rule based to do our risk analysis. And we have so many rules and provide that kind of rules for our customers to let them decide if the specific transaction or the login they want to move forward or not. So since the AI is large in the market, so we just adopt into our solution, and we use it to analyze our those kind of users' behaviors. You know, I still remember back to the 4 or 5 years ago. When we do using AI to analyze it, we just use it to do the categorize to analyze to have the all kind of risk to do the kind of grading thing, and also using the AI to predict if a specific transaction or the login, the next step is what's the next step for the specific users. So that's we use the AI for our risk engines for many years. However, that I think the most of the the players or the solutions, so they're doing the same thing in the market. They collect all the necessary information in the environment to analyze. However, recently we cooperate with the professor from the Stanford University, and we put we just go to the another advanced area we call the zero knowledge area, because for the payment service, for those kind of payment service, usually you don't. No, for our vendors, we don't usually get enough information from the environment. However, we still want to ensure that if this kind of transaction has a risk or not. we just cooperate with the professor from the Stanford University. We want to find out without infringing any kind of a personal information. Within this kind of circumstance, we can still detect, some kind of a risk from the transactions and those kind of payments in those kind of environment. So we think, I think this is the kind of a summation for us. We are. I think I just take this as an example. We want to have the AI to involve within our solution, and also, for example, recently the mini cloud. The mini cloud is very popular, but suddenly the market is going down because the cybersecurity, that kind of things happening, and the people using the mini clouds, they are worried about the security. So this time when I went to the RSA conference, I just went to the Silicon Valley to work with our partners over there, and they developed the very good AI agents solution for the Windows version. Okay, and so we just want to introduce our solution to build into those kind of AI agents, the environments, to help them to do the AI security. Okay, so now your question is how we integrate or how introduce the AI into our solution and to the market, but we want to push it back to our solution into the AI to help the AI to improve. So that's that's the both sides to do to interact AI with our solution.
I think that's a great explanation that you talked about how you're pushing AI upfront, right? So thank you so much, Mr. Chengi. If I have to ask you in a couple of sentences, now this will talk about the identity services market, the MFA market, right? This is pretty competitive. There are a lot of solutions in the market, and everybody is pushing hard to get their solutions into the customer environment. Now, if I have to ask you within a couple of sentences, if you can let me know what is the unique differentiator that Keypasco actually brings in to customers against so many competitors in your market.
Okay, as I mentioned, we want to be unique. Okay, in this market, we don't want to compete with it because we know that as I mentioned, I talked to many people say that we've been this in market for the like 40 years. However, since there's internet existing in the market, there's the authentication because you need to do the authentication to buy the flowers from on the internet, and so the authentication, this kind of area is so old. So there's so many competitors in the market. So we don't want to, we want to be unique. That's why we can survive. And that's back to your question. You asked, what kind of unique, the security point or selling point for our Keypasco solution. Back to the 14 years ago, when we developed our solution in Goldman's Weighted, we say that, we know that the credentials is the golden key. The everybody when you if you're talking about the Google Authenticator, Microsoft Authenticator, that's kind of an enterprise level authentication solution. They use the credential to generate the OTP. The credential thing is popular in the market. Everybody knows how to use that to do authentication, but we know that there's a risk for hackers to steal. So at nighttime, we just don't want to use it, don't want to follow this trend, and don't want to use the credential. So that's why I say, we just use the unique eigenvalues correct from device itself, and we can identify your device, and the device belongs to you, so we can use your device to replace the traditional hardware token to do the authentication. And we have so many kinds of factors to do the authentication. So that's why make our solutions so unique for the market. Of course, the market trend is growing, so there's a new technology coming. So that's why we still keep the absorbing all those kind of technologies, just like you mentioned the AI, how we adopt the AI, how we adopt the market. For example, the FIDO, those kind of FIDO is a alliance is organized by all those big players in the market. So we also, we don't want to, we don't want to against those kind of big players in the market. So that's why we know that we have a unique point, but we also want to cooperate with those kind of big players. So we want to get those kind of big players the solution into our solution to make our solutions more comprehensive, but still very unique in the market. So even right now, I like this time I go to the RSA, and we still using our patent, our unique selling point to talk to the market. Everybody still say, okay, this is so unique, and I don't see there's a similar solution in the market. So we still using this kind of very unique selling point to the market. And as I say, we cooperate with the professor in the Stanford University. So we try to get all those kind of advanced technology integrate into our solution.
I understand by now, like, how comprehensive is the solution, right? Since you started 40 years back, you have seen the journey, you have ridden the journey actually. You have driven the market to a certain extent. Product wise, I have a fair view and idea like what is the product, how you're leveraging next generation technologies, concepts in your products. Now, one aspect I want to talk about is more on the GTN front, the go to market partnerships, right? Specifically for the India market. Now, without partnership, I think it's very difficult for a great product to be even better, right? To be a great product, to be become an excellent product. So, if you can give us a kind of hint or the kind of initiatives that you're driving in India specifically, in terms of the partnership, the strategic partnerships that you'd like to sign up, or some of which you may have already signed up since I think it's been a couple of years for you in the India market. If you can give me a roadmap around that, uh, it will be an excellent conversation to have, both from product side as well as the market side.
The answer to your question, I divide it into the several aspects. The first one, the driving force. Okay, because in our industry, authentication, especially this area, there's two kinds of driving force. One from the government side, and for example, RBI, they just released a new regulation, and so that kind of driving force push the market and to the new direction. And the other side is from the enterprise side. There's a cybersecurity awareness. Why I mention this one? Okay, because when we talk about those kind of driving force, they related to what kind of partners that we should cooperate with in the Indian market. So who can actually handle and deal with those kind, and already have that kind of trend already. Okay, and also what we lack of, what we are lack of, we lack of the channel. We because we are new here, so we need to have someone to work with we have a good solution, and we need to have partners to help us to develop the channel. Okay, so so we need to have someone to know the trend. We need to have someone to have the channel. We need someone to have the technical ability, because we are the solution provider. We are the vendors, so we need to have the partners to work with to provide a local technical service to the local customer. So there is the three kinds of ability I already mentioned, and also we want to there is so many players doing the authentication or And so we are not although we are doing the authentication solution, but we are doing the software solution. But the customer side, they usually they have a different kinds of requirements. So we can collaborate with those kind of hardware solution providers, right? So that's the fourth kind, right? And the fifth kind. Okay, so because our solution actually can cooperate with different kind of industries, back to this 15 years history, we provide our solution to so many kind of industry, and they have already have each kind of industry they have a domain knowledge, and also they have their own platform solution. So usually we also can integrate our solution with their own platform and get a package to provide to the customers. So this four five kinds of the ability or requirements that we are looking for to cooperate. So so you can imagine like this is kind of an ecosystem in the country. So we try to get the ecosystem in India for our Keypasco solution. And because our solution not only towards those kind of platform customer, but also the enterprise customer, but not only for the banking side, BFSI, but for the government, the enterprise, and also the manufacturing, all those kind of customer. So we try to build the ecosystem from one industry to another, from the one region to another. So we try to build our ecosystem. And direct to your question, what kinds of partners we already got it? The first one, just take some example, okay? For example, because back to the first, I think it's the first question or the second question. We because the RBI's new regulation, so we really focus on the banking industry. So in the very beginning, we just got very good partners in the banking industry, and they have a very good connection, and they provide the solution to the banking side. And of course, there's a strength of the banking side is there's internally on internal. So we just in India there's so many banks using the co-banking system, especially co-banking system called Finaco. Okay, so for us, we just cooperate with that partners to integrate our Keypasco solution with the Finaco co-banking system. With this kind of package, we can sell not only for the India's the banks internally for their internet login, but also the around the India, there's Nepal, all others neighbors the country, they also use it. And also there's some countries in the Middle East, they also use Finaco the co-banking system. So we can use those kind of connection from the India to the neighbors to the Middle East. So this is very good the partners for us. So we just find we have our own roadmap from the one region, from one industry to another. So we just from different find the partners, system integrator, or the solution provider to cooperate with, and to have our own roadmap to get our goal, which is the revenue to reach the annual sales goal.
Perfect. Perfect. I think you got a lot of examples as well as defining or designing a pretty much a depth strategy in terms of the partnership, how you are going to push this product to your masses, to the end customer. I think excellent, fantastic on that front. I have one last question. Typically, if you can give me one prediction that you think is going to transform the security market, let's not go very far. Let's not talk about 10 years, 15 years, but from now. But let's talk about a shorter time frame, mid-range, more like a 5 years time frame. How do you think the security market will transform globally as well as in a fast emerging market like India?
Let me take example of the reason what I just see recently in San Francisco during the RSA conference. During the when I was in the RSA conference, every booth, every solution talking about the AI. So I would say, but the RSA conference is a cybersecurity event, right? So it's just like a Cybersec 26 in India is the same. Everybody talking about the AI. One thing, that is very specific is the AI agents. AI agents will be very popular in the next. I would say, that in the 3 years, 5 years, as back to the previous questions we just discussed. The mini crowd, everybody because the AI agents can replace the human's behavior to do it by themselves. You never know how it goes. Because you need to have the certain the behaviors, human behaviors interferes into the process. So the AI agents in the next, I would say, 3 years, 5 years will be so popular into everybody's life. But the authentication, previously we are talking about the payment, transactions, login, those kind of things, from the humans itself will become the machine to machine, those kind of agents behaviors thing. For us, just why I, in San Francisco, why I just started to cooperate with lots of partners in Silicon Valley. This is I would say the next decades, but I would say the next 3 to 5 years, you must see those kind of trends in around the world. So we need to prepare the solution for those kind of AI agents things, and also of course the quantum. Okay, the back to the 5 years, 6 years, quantum will be also the one of the focus we need to pay attention to, and we need to have the good solution to prepare for the quantum computing, and but not for the 3 years to 5 years. I would say probably 10 years, but every government, especially like a European government, the US government, I believe Indian as well, the Asian government, actually they already want push the government or banking the industry to prevent from those kind of quantum computing, and so that's also the others I wouldn't say the prediction, because a lot of the vendors or suppliers already started to move to those kind of preparation.
Perfect. So before we wrap up this conversation, let me just tell you, when I started my career long back, I started using Keypasco devices. So that's where I know Keypasco as a company.
Thank you very much.
And it's a pleasure to have you, meet you, the person, the founder for the company, the product that I've used. So it was a pleasure connecting with you, speaking with you. And I think it's a small world. We will all connect again soon. And thank you so much for your time.